Before we start, check out my Roblox UGC shop and pick up some anime-inspired accessories and anything else that's there. The links are down below, so join the group and follow me on Roblox to help me out. Alright, let's get into it. What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today we're back with a build breakdown created specifically to recreate and become Titus, the latest boss in Deepwoken. Titus Fulminus Destellus, made by developer Dexarius, is here, and he's kinda crazy. This boss is one of my absolute favorites, so I put together a build that I thought would go crazy. If you want to catch up on how to defeat Titus or get the oath, I'll link my straightforward guide down below. Anyway, I'm using a mix of Gale Breath, Thundercall, and Strength to embody the spirit of the Legion, and you can try it out for yourself as well. The stats and talents are fairly basic, but we gotta get all the mantras that worked for the Legion's strongest. If you want the Buildmaker link, that's gonna be posted later in my Discord, but I will release it early for supporters and members of the channel. Now, let's talk about Titus and how you can become the Blight of the 100 Legions. Pulling off our drip, I did my best to recreate Titus with his glorious hair and beard. We can't make our face perfect just like the NPC, but everything else here works and straight up is Titus, so you can recreate this as well. Of course, his drip and equipment can be replicated with a few of the armor drops from the Authority Dungeon raid, and that's exactly what we needed to complete our build. We're pulling out the full stops with Titus, so Blight Surger is absolutely essential with any version of this boss. With my weapon of choice, I picked up the Imperial style World Piercer gauntlets directly from Titus's arsenal, equipped with a new Curse of the Void enchant. With this option, dealing damage lets me reduce healing, very similar to his Withering Punches, and it glows alongside our Blight Surger abilities. So for ganks and clearing out servers, this is the method, and it makes sense since Titus doesn't mess around. Now, without further delay, let's talk about the abilities that make this boss build perfect. So, to represent all of our Blight Surge glory, we gotta go down the list and start using everything at our disposal. Of course, the Fist Style and Critical from the Oath work perfectly in a build like this, and we'll need to be using them after we build up our Sovereign State mode. To recreate Titus's Airborne Slamdown, this Sovereign Critical does a lot of the heavy lifting, and it looks great. Another one of his iconic air attacks that we'll be using is of course Sky Crash. Being able to close the gap in less than a second, that's something only available with Blight Surge, and it ramps up further if the secondary hit lands. We can jump around just like the boss, and there's no way to stop this. Unlike Titus, we don't get stunned for hitting walls, so we can activate monkey mode and just start going crazy and spamming out moves. So to ascend even further with our rushdown, we can harness the power of both Sovereign Drive and Warp Kick to stick to our enemies like glue. Sovereign Drive's ability to blitz forward while rewarding us with a stunning knockdown is kinda just busted, and the hitbox is ridiculous as well. We gotta use this since this is an essential Titus move. Warp Kick is also really nice to throw out whenever, teleporting to our opponents when they try to run, and it's basically the power prepped version of Radiant Kick, making it a staple for sniping opponents. So once we're up close, it's time to stomp our opponents into the floor with Sky Shatter Kick's Round Spark. Just like Titus and his Radial Floor Smash, we gotta use this to catch players from a distance and send them flying away to begin our approach. On high strength builds just like this embodies the pure spirit of the 100 Legions and was perfect for suppressing opponents at mid-range. Finally, moving on to our grabs, we got a few different options to play around with, but they're extremely important to make this character who he is in game. First, the ability throw is actually just from Titus as a mantra reward, and it allows players to pick up enemies and chuck them around just like the boss. This is great to slam players into walls and daze them on get up, and it can even set up further combos if you have a projectile or teleport that they have to defend against. It's perfect since it was designed with the boss in mind, and we gotta try it out. So now, as an extra bonus, it's time for another one of his throws, and I chose Champion's World Throw to hit players lacking because it's another mix-up that has a similar payoff. I'm always a fan of this mantra with other rushdown high pressure moves, and it works since Titus isn't just limited to a single grab. Ending off this build with a few bonus abilities, it's time to talk about our Lightning Volley. When Titus hits phase 2, he starts throwing out projectiles like there's no tomorrow, and we gotta do this too. Abusing Fleeting Sparks and its delayed damage projectile, any ragdoll or stun makes this move absolutely completely free to set up. No matter what happens, players have to wake up and defend this move or else they'll be getting stunned, and it's really just there to pressure players from a distance. And to finish things off with our bell of choice, we had to pick up the Broly ability, Chorus Divide. We unleash a torrent of unstoppable elemental energy that players just gotta respect. Titus in his boss fight only really uses Gale Breath with this move, but it's implied through the obtainment and his moveset that Thunder Call is a mastered style of his. So we gotta use both with this boss moveset in mind, and this is the ultimate Titus build. If you would have changed it up or done something different, there's infinite ways to create, but leave your own ideas down below. How would you have made this build? It's time for some fights with the Forgotten Legion's leader, with Titus Fulminus de Stellis. That's about it for my new Titus build, and if you haven't watched my guide on that boss, check it out. Thank you so much to all my loyal fans and members who support my channel directly, and if you like what I do, feel free to join up below for even more content. If you want to contact me directly and have all the updates for all of my videos, join my Discord down below, and also, if you want to play with my guild, that server is going to be linked too. As always, thank you again, and make sure to like and subscribe. I'm shooting for 115k subs, and let's hit that goal. Have a good one. It's punching time.